And everybody read the minutes from last meeting?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Sorry.
You want to make a motion to approve?
Approved.
Motion to approve. Second. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
There you go. They're approved. All right, vendors.
At this moment, we are up to 35, and there are some that like to email me their applications, and I kindly send them an email going, "Thank you so much for your application, but according to the rules, we do not accept applications without payment." "Oh, I'll send that right out," and still don't have them, so, well, sitting there.
Okay, and you just got a bunch of new ones. So
I
that
did.
That 35 doesn't count the ones you just got today. Because you got about another 10 today.
Counts most of them, but I haven't opened them, so I gotta double
Huh?
check.
That's a lot already.
Yeah.
It is.
We're having it in July this year.
It is.
That's not funny.
So now,
It's a lot already.
what we can do is, oh, okay. Barbecue person, all right, I gotta write that down. Barbecue person is not coming. Instead, they're sending their taco trailer.
Taco trailer?
Yep. I'm like, okay then. So that means I have to find a barbecue person. And I have not heard back from the German yet.
The German food place.
Yeah, German food place.
Oh,
You knew what I meant.
right,
You
food.
gotta follow the dancing squirrel.
Yeah, get used to it.
Okay,
Wait, so what about the barbecue truck?
They are booked, their barbecue trailer is booked somewhere else. But they were here last year, but instead for this year, they are sending their taco trailer, which I still have not received payment for.
They diversified.
And next year they want both.
oh,
But
okay.
if we get a barbecue person this year and whoever sends in their form first gets the barbecue. It is how it is. So. And John, you were gonna check into the Thai food.
And it's still.
My understanding is that people really liked it. So I don't eat Thai food.
They
So.
like the Thai food you did. We heard good things about that.
And with vendors, there's a particular person that will purposely, actually there'll be 3, but this person wants the last 2 vendor sites on Pleasant Street, right before the food. And we had a long discussion on the phone, and she strictly wants the last 2 vendor sites on Pleasant Street.
Well, on the last 2 this way, right?
Heading
Not
towards
that
the
way.
food truck, food,
Yeah.
yes. That way.
Because of the food lines last year?
She liked how people gathered in the air. We had tables there with chairs. That helped. But people all went around and they liked her booth. So this year she's getting 2 booths. And if she signs up again, there's a lady that lives in one of the apartment buildings there and she likes to be right there, right outside her door.
So with 2 booths, a double wide?
Double.
Really.
Setting up that street is fun. Not really, but, you know.
It's all right.
It's a
It's when people come out and give us a hard time that, I will listen to you. But then I want to finish. So,
Okay?
no, I meant marking the street. When we're marking the street, we always get people that come out and like to have a discussion and why can't you put all the vendors on the lawn? Because they don't fit, but thanks for the info. Yeah, it takes a long time to mark the streets, so, yeah, okay.
Actually, the setup, pretty much everything we did with the setup was pretty decent last year. The big main stage setup was nice with the blow-up thing. Us being able to set up the second stage at Mason's Lodge the night, day before, completely set up was a great thing. You know, it worked out well. The street design was good. We seemed to have, you know, it was organized pretty well. It worked well. So I didn't really hear any problems with any of it, so. Couple of things, little wooden trash foldy things we had, we get a modified design of that so that they don't fall. You know, we learn from our mistakes, you know.
Those were ours?
Huh?
Those were ours?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Well, they
I
were
had
made for
I had
us.
somebody make them, yeah.
Okay.
And,
And we need clips or something to hold the trash bags so they all just don't collapse
Yep.
inside. There were some complaints with vendors, but I have them written down. There's a lady that's been coming for the last 7 to 10 years, and she asked to not have someone particular next to her, so I have that note. So, she had legitimate complaints. So, I'll just move that person somewhere else, and there we go.
you done?
I think so. I was done, but you jumped in and then I went back because you said something. So, yeah, let's just go forward.
Okay,
Counted tickets. I wrote all mine down.
oh, you did?
Yep.
Let's
The
have 'em.
cash cube actually had $7 in cash.
Let's have 'em.
I want it back.
You said cat. We need to put a new coat of varnish on this table so we're sliding stuff. Like.
Yeah.
Every
So we'll
year
make
we
it
just
all the way to the end?
re-varnish it.
We did well with all tickets all the way around.
Yes, we did. Spinning wheel did awesome.
I was surprised when I saw the cash. I went, okay. And I made sure I added it. Counted it 2-3 times to make sure I was accurate. Wow, you guys are both wiped out. I look like I'm wiped out because I'm always tired, but
Train 1686 still holds the record. Nope. Obstacle course.
Ooh.
it helps if you have adults running it, so then the kids are not afraid to go in.
Well, apparently that was the case this time.
Imagine if we had an adult jump.
Imagine if we had 3 trains.
Oh, jeez.
We'd be alive. More cars, add more cars.
Thank you.
All right. Continue on. Haven't heard, there's no difference about street closing or parking. Last year we had the elder bus thing going up and back and forth to the school. That's the only place they went though. Did we do parking at Soldiers Field? Do you remember?
I had reached out to someone about that leading up to it, and they said that they would have people there, but there was no follow-up or anything, or how much they made, if they made anything in donations or what, but
We didn't hear any complaints either, right?
no. And it was too busy to even like trek down there to kind of see what was
We-
going.
Okay, well, we'll talk about it when we get to entertainment. Beer Garden's Greater Good again. They've signed up, already committed them, and yes, we're doing it. So they're all set. Soda. You saw what we did with the soda.
Yeah.
Okay. So your idea with the soda was, because it's manning the boot, that concession that we have an issue with.
Yeah,
So-
that and the carbonation.
That in the,
But
well,
We've
we
talked
get
about
some,
that.
we get some different plans for carbonation.
Yeah.
Either we can do,
He's been scheming.
Mhm.
yeah, I
Yeah.
kinda mentioned it to him. Either we can try icing down the inside of the keg first,
Right.
and then, seeing what that does. Or the other plan was to just, pre-carbonate 4 or 5 kegs and then just use those. Right?
Okay.
Just tap them and use them like it's if there was a soda keg or something, right? Yes, no?
Yeah, that.
Okay, so, there you go.
I think you need to
It's kind
try
of
it
a, kind of a fill-in from
first.
last time.
Yeah.
What was the other train of thought about manning the, staffing the?
Your train of thought was just to offer it up to, didn't you
A
bring that up?
nonprofit.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
that's right, I did. I was thinking this.
Right.
It was in the minutes that went out, you just didn't get a moment to
4
read
weeks
it.
ago, you were amazing.
it was to offer it up to another organization potentially.
Yeah.
And see if they were interested in
Yeah.
running it for either a percentage or tips or something or whatever.
Yeah,
However, we negotiate that out. So we'll have to figure that out.
I think it's a good idea. It'd be good to have like one point of contact with that organization that can review everything with them and just kind of check it from time to time, but not like retrain every shift kind of thing,
Yeah.
But yeah, I like that idea.
yeah, I think it also, incentivizes it, right? Someone to be there and actually do it. I don't think we landed on a payout scheme though, did we?
We landed on a what?
Well, there
Payout.
were a couple suggestions, and one of them was a third after expenses, but they have to man it all day.
What, do you have the numbers
Yes.
still from last year? Per month?
Yes.
So how much did it gross or net?
He's got the report right in front of him. I just gave him a copy.
So it grossed 16 and netted 946.
Yeah, so based on those numbers, if we did a third, I wouldn't say we'd give him a third. If you got somebody else that's responsible for running it all day, you can half the profit after
Half?
expenses. Yeah. Half. After we pay everything.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so you could make $400 to $500 by
yeah,
staffing it all day,
yeah. Plus tips. They get the tips,
plus tips.
right?
Half?
Yeah, why not? Because it saves us just, all we gotta do is set it up and take it down
So how much was clear
Right.
profit last year?
and train them.
9 something.
Nine.
Yeah, 940 something.
No?
Yeah,
Think it's too much?
no.
Good.
Is that on par with what an organization makes by staffing a bouncy house? What's that?
Sometimes,
No.
depends on the weather, sometimes it's approximately about the same thing.
Money-wise it would be, but that's not how we do the bouncy house. If they do.
Right, he's
if-
talking money-wise.
Yeah, if they do the bouncy house, what happens is they get, our goal for the bouncy house has always been just to pay for the ride, and then they get the profit from the tickets, and that's the
Okay.
way that works, okay? So, money-wise, it would be about the same. You, normally, from running a bouncy house, they make $300-400,
Okay.
you know?
Yeah, so as long
it's-
as we're.
It's comparable.
Comparable, right?
Yeah.
I think I can rationalize giving a little bit more because the weather could be bad on a day, right? You're gonna have fewer people drinking soda, we've noticed that when the weather's bad, right?
Mhm.
And then, it's messier work. It's just more work than staffing a bouncy house. So,
Yeah.
I
Plus
think-
they're having to deal with cash and things like
Yeah.
that, where out of bouncy, they're just taking tickets. So this is a little more responsibility.
If you did, well, that would affect tips though. I was gonna say, if you didn't wanna do cash there, then we could do a drink ticket. We'd sell the drink tickets in the ticket booth.
Can they use the same tickets? Could we just use the same tickets?
I suppose you could.
cash
You
or
just, well, cash or, oh,
50.
you wouldn't use, if you were gonna use tickets to buy soda, right?
Mhm.
It's just a lot
then-
of tickets.
Huh?
It's just a lot of tickets per,
Yeah,
them
they
out.
would, because 50 cents a ticket,
Yeah.
it's $4 a soda or something,
So,
then, they get 8 tickets, huh?
well, that's also not out of,
Yeah, but when you take the money out of the equation, now you've removed the opportunity for tips, usually.
yeah, and technically it's a food item, like people are paying cash for all the food trucks and all the
Yeah.
other events, so
Yeah.
you could keep it as cash.
but the never makes a ton of tips anyway. The soda jerk hasn't brought in a lot in the way of tips. Like I think when the Liam and his friend did it a couple years ago, I think they made $40 all day in tips.
I was led to believe that they each walked away with $100 each.
Not even close.
They looked adorable.
Yeah, I know, they looked good.
So they were
They
wearing
should have
their-
tipped just because they look so good.
Oh,
So just playing this out though, right? If I think the primary customer are younger kids, or kids, right?
yeah,
So mom and dad buy Junior a bunch of tickets and say, have fun. And Junior can go spend them at the ride. He might not have any cash on him, but if he's got tickets, he can go buy a soda. And for us, it's all the same at the end of the day, because we've got the cash equivalent in the booth, right? So it's money. So you just pay,
it's a good point.
you pay it out at the end of the day, whatever. And it's even less, it's less money at that spot, too.
Sure,
Security wise,
Right.
cash.
And I'll count those tickets.
He'll
So-
count the soda jerk tickets.
Well, you said less money. Would you do
It's
tickets
no,
and
I'm sorry.
cash,
No,
or
no.
just tickets?
No, both. Tickets are cash and cash.
Yeah, then it took away the advantage of doing the tickets there, because the tickets would be to take the cash away from there so that they're not having to make change. Okay, and if you,
But some adult is gonna wanna walk up and get an old fashioned, they're gonna want a soda. They're not gonna wanna have to go get tickets.
Right.
They'd
Yeah.
rather just pay.
Yeah. There could be a line at the tickets and they're like, I just want a soda.
You could do it 8 tickets or $4. They could
Yeah.
have a bucket.
Yeah, either one. Take cash and tickets.
I don't care either way.
I like the option.
okay,
Yeah.
we'll think of that later. To me, when you do both, it's confusion. I think it is.
Could also give it a go for a year and see how it goes. And if it tanks, then we go
Can.
back to cash only. But my thinking is like, yeah, again, like if kids are your primary clientele for the soda booth, they're more likely to have tickets on them than cash. And spend those tickets. We buy that sugar water.
Okay.
Create an email address for the thing and have them do Venmo. Have them Venmo the money to you.
However you want to.
When I go places, I always use my credit card.
Everybody's doing that now. It's nuts.
Yeah,
Yeah. Huh? It's actually crazy.
yeah.
You might make more money at the ticket booth if you took credit cards.
Mm-hmm.
Just saying.
Yep. Yep, we'll come up with a solution for that one.
Or take tickets at the beer garden too.
But you can't,
Then
but
then
you
that would-
can't, but you can't use the same excuse that they don't get any tips, because they do.
correct.
Okay?
Yeah, you're
If you
right.
take the cash equation out of the beer garden, they're gonna affect that tip
Yes.
jar.
I'll ask my dad for extra tickets.
So,
Hey, Junior, I don't want to leave the bar. Here's $20. Go get me some more tickets.
yeah,
I
and
think that's the only reason to not. It's the only reason to not do it there.
yeah. That's, but it's a significant reason, because they
Yes.
yeah.
Oh, they're happy.
Yeah, it makes it work. You know?
Well, if you're talking about the beer garden, we're gonna have a place for stroller parking
Yes.
or whatever.
Yes, we're gonna rope off a stroller, because that was an issue. We're gonna make a stroller parking area.
That's good.
So you're going to need a sign
Hmm?
that states ID. I'm sure the wording is, you know, whatever. Must show ID even if you're 100 years old.
Yeah.
That's just the world we have.
I think more important than the sign is the bouncers enforcing whatever the
Yes.
rule is.
Yes.
You gotta have your bouncers just say, nope, no strollers, park it there, you need to see your ID.
So what was the reason for this? Were there,
There was a lot of strollers in the beer garden, lots.
so there were families in there with little children?
Yeah.
Always.
Okay.
Now, I did have,
And where we want them to just hold the kids and not have much room, or there's no kids allowed at all? None?
well, if they have a kid that's young enough to be in, you know, in a stroller,
Yeah.
right? Typically, that kid's not drinking beer, so, you know, they want to go in, they bring the baby and stuff, you know. Usually that kid's not drinking beer, so that's, we don't have to card him. But what happened is last year, people went in the beer garden, and there was a lot of strollers in there. It was hard to move around, actually. There was probably 20, 25 strollers in there.
Okay.
Yeah. They should be parked outside.
Okay.
You know?
Well, there will be some arguments
Yeah.
that little Sally is sleeping and they don't want to pick her up because she's sleeping, but they want to, since the baby's sleeping, they want to go have a beer.
So then the bouncer shakes the baby and wakes it up.
Wakes it up. We're going to let Steve be a bouncer.
I'd love that. So so there's, children are allowed in there?
Well,
Just not
We'd rather
strollers?
not.
Okay.
I guess I'm unclear on.
Yeah, well, I think you hit the
No.
nail on the head.
Okay. As a matter of fact, to try to stop that, okay, that's why I set up tables. That's why we had the German food guy there, and they set up tables on the other side. So the roped-in spot was the beer garden, and then, you know, because we used to have people that used to buy food, and they'd go in the beer garden to sit it and eat it, and not even buy beer, because that was where the tables were, right?
Okay.
They'd bring their whole family in there to sit down and have, you know, eat food. So we got more tables, and I spread them out even more in a bigger area, and I put some over on the German food side so that we would have more seating for families that wanted to sit and, you know, eat lunch or something.
Okay.
So that kind of alleviated that problem, but what it gave us was we still had, you know, we're just gonna we're just gonna say stroller parking outside, please, you know, and then when it works, it's supposed to.
Okay.
To answer your question, no.
No.
Right.
Children
Yeah.
are not allowed
Yeah.
in the beer
Yeah, to
garden.
answer your question, no.
Okay.
Okay.
Do
That's-
families go in there?
To answer your question, no.
But there'll be stroller parking.
So we're gonna put stroller parking
Got it.
outside.
Clear as mud.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
John,
The other one, you wanted like vertical flags and stuff.
Yeah, I want vertical flags.
So vertical flags for the beer garden,
Yes.
right?
Beer garden, tickets, bathroom, admin,
Strollers.
Huh?
stroller.
No, that's a good idea.
Stroller parking. I'm kidding.
Stroller valet.
There you go. You can be a stroller valet.
Right.
It's probably good. Food, do a food one.
You know, it's not the first time we've done this, and a lot of times,
One,
usually the
two.
things are in the
Find
same
it.
place.
Yeah.
The only, when we started the thing last year, you remember the porta potties weren't where they were supposed to be because somebody
7, 8.
told them to put them someplace else. Yeah.
Yeah, that became a problem, but they
And
got
then we
moved.
had to move them.
Soda?
Oh, you keep adding. I was up to 8. Stop adding.
I only have 6.
Well, there's 3 bathrooms. Just saying.
There's only 2 bathrooms. You're not gonna advertise the one in the beer garden.
Okay, we'll put 2.
Definitely no kids in there.
Huh? Because,
There's no
All right,
change
all right,
table
all
in that one.
Yeah.
All right, 1, 2,
I'm trying to sneak in without an ID to go to
7,
the
8. All
bathroom.
right, we've got 8. Come up with a good price. Yeah.
What?
Tony said he was going to do it.
No, I have a source for that.
The vertical tents? Or the vertical flags?
Yeah, like the ones that kind of like
Yeah, a little
swoop
swoopy.
and, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Yep.
Steve's got it.
It's like part of my everyday of work.
Free would be great, and we can put them as a sponsor. And they can have a free booth.
Big.
How many? 8?
I want big.
Yep.
Steve. Big.
Beer garden, ticket booth, strollers,
No,
2
they're
bathrooms.
they're only like
Alien guy?
they're only like
Oh,
8
not one
feet
of
tall or
those.
something, right?
15 foot. 15. Get the 15 footers.
Oh,
The
no one-
kids would love that on the lawn because they'd be beating the daylights out of it, dancing.
10 feet. 8 to 10 feet. So you can see them. You know, think about how cool it would look. You look down Main Street and you got the flags are up above. People. Beer.
America.
America.
You know what happens when the wind blows, though, right?
Do they have to be anchored in grass or can you get stands?
I think you can get outdoor stands for like, on pavement. The other ones, it cranks into the ground and then you attach it and clip it, so. But yeah, I think they do make weighted ones that, can be used for asphalt.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, so there you go. Investigate.
Yep.
Rides. Bouncies. We could put them everywhere.
No, because there's just more to pick up at the end of it,
I have an idea.
and then you have to store them.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's right.
I got an idea. We're gonna store these all at your house, okay?
Let's get one. Let's get one for Tony, and it says Tony, and we'll strap it to his back.
Oh, then we can always find
him
them.
all day. We'll know where you
Well,
are.
I was just
I
gonna
should
say,
just
like,
walk
maybe
around
one
with
that says like
a puppet
admin,
You'll be able to
or,
find me.
helps
I've
us.
seen
tent.
where people go to amusement parks or whatever and they attach a balloon to grandma because they can't find her. We're gonna put a nice big orange balloon
Yeah,
on
put
your
a balloon
vest.
on you.
Yeah, but like I said, we should have one for like the admin table,
Yeah.
because if somebody gets lost, if somebody needs to get
Yeah.
something, like,
Yeah.
we can have that right there
I
on the
think that's a
corner.
great idea. I think every staff member's gonna have a balloon on them. One will say, John, Steve.
Mine's
There'll be
gonna
one.
get attached to my administration table. Where'd she go? I don't know, because she took her vest off.
See that orange balloon over there? Man.
Go grab it!
How come
See that orange balloon with the smiley face?
Johns has been at the beer garden all day.
Yeah, why is his balloon over there?
Is there a clown over at the beer garden?
Yeah, there's
Like 6
a,
balloons.
at least one clown.
Oh, that's funny. Also, I have John, Rhoda for the antique cars.
That means you need insurance.
You're the one who always contacts her.
It's not Rhoda anymore. It's
That means you need insurance.
I
for
thought
this.
they still owned that building.
it's the.
It's complicated.
Put it in my.
Because the antique cars are always a big hit because they do their own thing with trophies and the whole. And we just got to give them a space to do it. It's great.
Yep, it's pretty popular too. There's a lot of people wander around the antique cars and stuff.
They have to vote too. I never realized that till this last year. I just go in to check on them and go back out.
I was trying to find photographs from this past year. I didn't really see like a posting of them, and I went to the
Photography
website.
last year.
I don't,
Might be able to contact
We have
Ink here.
anyone.
They may have some.
I don't think we had anyone official.
Oh, we need somebody.
Um, so I would have, like last year with all the people we had, like that, if we had that drone picture that they've had in the past, like that would have been amazing.
We just have to contact that guy that Chris Billadu?
Belladu, yeah. There are a couple, he did post a couple shots. I grabbed one of them from the drone over Oktoberfest with the crowd.
This past
Oh.
year,
Most of the pictures that I get, that I put on things, I usually grab stills off of cable, because cable films the whole day. So, you know, I can play the video and grab a screenshot, you know. But in the past, we had a photographer that took pictures all day, and we had like 150 pictures that day.
right?
We should probably do that again. It doesn't, you know, it's short money kind of,
What's that?
to have a photographer, hire a photographer. Like,
Yeah.
you know, the last time we did a photographer, it was like $150 or something, you know, to have them do the day. That's pretty cheap.
So,
Okay.
was there any? I mean, I look around. Was there any interest in additional seats to fill?
I've been asking people. I even asked someone last night, and she just said she was too busy. Because she's got kids that are in 3 different soccer leagues, and she works in Natick, and she doesn't have time. So we have been asking.
We should just put it on our page and promote it.
Yep.
You know, or even if someone can't fully commit, like, okay, if you could be our lead person, like, you don't have to come to every meeting, but if we can, you know, divvy up some of the responsibilities and, you know, report things to have them execute, that'd be huge. Almost as if we each had one person that we could, you know, work with on certain things. You could have a little Tony.
One is enough to handle you. Like
Right.
another one.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
What's the date of the event this year?
4th.
prizes.
What are you looking at, John?
I'm just messaging Maria, who's the contact for the driveway.
Oh, okay.
Just messaged her. I think it's her daughter. I think it's Rhoda's daughter
To do what?
that now manages that property.
Oh, all right.
So that's who gave the okay last year, Maria. So I just messaged her again.
Okay, well, I made a note to get you the insurance things again. But I would need to know if it's a different company or a different person or something that has to be listed as additional insurance.
It's the same listing. It hasn't changed from previous years.
All right. You gonna do up prizes for the ticket booth and the cash cube again? You and your wifey?
My wife does it. And I'm sure she'll do it again. Earlier the better. If you can get him.
Okay, so
To her.
that Yep, based on that, okay, give me a date that you want all of them by.
And remember, you're gonna storm.
Huh?
Put them in your nice big living room.
Yeah, right.
The kids' toys all over this living room.
Yeah, and then the problem is my kids see these toys and they want to play with those toys.
Of course they do, because they're new.
Yeah, because they think it's Christmas again. Yeah.
Beginning
Okay.
of September?
I
Well-
just messaged her.
Oh, okay,
he's-
she'll get back to you.
Yeah, so get back to us and give us a date for that. Any new stuff? Should we have anything new?
Hold on. I am asking, requesting, begging for a sponsor for prizes. I want $1,000.
He points to me.
Tony could pull $1,000 out of thin air.
Sponsors. Okay. I'll have to, I've already, our existing sponsors have already recommitted. Unibank and Webster First and.
Did we get any feedback about the way prizes worked? Any
From?
We didn't hear any complaints.
Well, that's something. That
Yeah.
says a lot. Yeah, because I think the way she did it was for all of the small things,
Yep.
they were like erasers. They were like 1 through 50 in this box. If you got that, you pulled
Yeah,
it.
that seemed to work pretty well, I think.
Yeah.
They were able to find them quicker.
I checked in several times between the cash cube and the spin wheel, and some of the people that had been working it this year had worked it last year, or worked it this past year, worked it the year before. They said it was much better this time around, which was good. The only part was like I had some people doing like 3 shifts just because we didn't have enough volunteers. But
Speaking of that, you may want to start reaching out to schools now if you're going to look for volunteers for like National Honor Societies or clubs or whatever,
okay,
because schools are going to be in 8 weeks. They're going to be on summer break.
right.
So
If you wait till September when they go back to school, sometimes it's
so you won't-
crazy to contact.
You won't get anyone over the summer, teacher-wise.
Right. But if they switch who the class advisor is,
Those should stay the same. It would be unlikely for a class advisor to switch because they're going to stick with them for.
Well, they stick
4
with the same
years.
group. But, so what happens is if you're gonna get seniors, you're gonna go after the juniors now.
yeah, we can't do the seniors because of SATs.
Huh?
We can't do seniors because of SATs.
All right, so now.
You might get you might get some. There's a lot. It's optional now. It's not all the kids are taking. Some of them are taking earlier, so it's still worth it to ask seniors.
Did we have a lot of teenagers manning those games?
No,
Okay.
no.
I prefer
Not much.
not. Be-
Well, not the spinny
We've
wheel on the
had issues
casket.
in the past. I mean, I like kids of all age, including teenagers.
Oh, the cash cube and the spin.
Yeah.
No teenagers at all. That was all adults.
All adults.
The teenagers
Perfect.
did like
Okay.
most of the
Mhm.
other activities. The basketball and the
Yeah, yeah.
run into each other thing.
Yeah, just for anyone, I'm just thinking ahead. Like, if you hit up teachers too late, they're trying to close out their year. You might not get good responses. So now, it's probably getting about the time to reach out to
But
them.
reaching out to them now for the class that they're going to have incoming.
If
like-
you're,
Right,
if
the
you're looking
sophomore
for-
would have juniors. You just move them up.
Yeah, if you're looking for like class advisors, they're going to be moving with their class. So the sophomore class advisor now will be the junior class advisor next year.
Okay.
They track with the
Okay.
grade.
All right.
I'm thinking I need
I had a thought and there it went.
I need someone to run sound
Yes.
to replace my guy, and I was thinking, hoping to find a local kid who's part of the AV club or program at a school, like a sophomore or junior, to do that. I don't know if Douglas has a program like that. Maybe Waynesville Christian might. So I'm just saying it out loud to remind myself too that I'm.
I mean, my kids haven't been in school for a little bit, but I'm pretty sure like when they would do like that Tiger Jam and all that other stuff, like they had students who were running
Mhm.
like the audio and stuff
Yeah.
with that. So
Yeah.
I would think that they would have,
Is that here?
what's that?
Douglas.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And that kid is also in the choir and in,
Yeah.
and in the theater program and running a booth and doing this other thing.
That's,
So
we have that
they're
issue a
both
Got a
lot.
brother or sister?
Somebody beep beeped or buzz buzzed.
Because usually people that volunteer, they usually already volunteer. They volunteer someplace else, you know.
Yeah, so if I can, maybe there's a kid, maybe Sutton has a audio program, or Whitensville Christian, or maybe one of the schools.
You've got
in there.
Oxbridge, Northbridge, Sutton,
Schools.
Oxford, Webster surrounding us.
Someone's got to have a program.
So you just put a thing out saying that we're looking for some AV interns,
Yep,
right?
basically.
That you- that
If you want to let me, I have a contact, I have like an administrative contact at Sutton that I can reach out to if you give me, like, shoot me an email or a text with some of the specifics, and then I
Okay.
could just kind of reach out to them and say, hey, what do you have?
Yeah,
That might get us somewhere.
or even like who's the if do you have an audio teacher? Is it,
Mhm.
theater tech audio, something like that. That teacher would know a kid. Yeah, this kid is the kid to do it.
Mhm. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but preferably someone not in Douglas because of all the other activities they do with us, yeah. Okay. Alright.
Any lucks, even though it's just been a couple of weeks, you had mentioned demonstrating booths.
Not yet.
I think we need to have something in the local flyers, local newspapers that come out. The Uxbridge Times, the Valley Gazette, whatever it is. I think you need to have not just a little thing. I think you need an article in there.
Promoting Octoberfest?
Start now. We're looking for vendors. We're looking for demonstrative type vendor booths.
So last meeting we talked about trying to get
Craft guys.
handcraft people, and we said that we'll waive
I forgot about reaching out to the tinsmith.
we'll waive booth fees if they do a demonstration during the day. So like traditional handcrafts,
Like a tinsmith.
tinsmith, coopering, leatherwork, woodworking, spoon carving.
Chainsaw guy that cuts chainsaw.
With electric chainsaws. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, good luck with that.
That guy we're gonna put on the stage if we find one. But yeah, like, sort of handcrafts, traditional handcrafts.
Okay.
So if you know any of those people.
That would be cool. That would be something new.
Oh, yeah, that makes furniture.
Hmm.
But he's also in chorus, and
No
he's also our
kidding.
audio guy.
Yeah, I'm busy.
He's got a
I
balloon on
paint,
him.
but I'm busy. I could sit in a booth and just paint all day and just be happy as a clam.
Yeah, PC. I work, build a chair.
Get face paint.
I don't want to do face painting.
Except in the morning. In the morning, I'm going to be selling breakfast sandwiches.
The morning of Oktoberfest?
Yeah. We don't have anyone making breakfast. We need a breakfast sandwich vendor. And we get a griddle.
There's somebody, there's a vendor that we have here that comes here and does the french fries. We can ask him if he wants to do breakfast.
That's what I'm writing down,
Is it-
and we can actually physically call him. What are you thinking? Egg sandwiches?
Yeah, a griddle with egg, bacon, egg and cheese, sausage, egg and cheese, egg and cheese,
We could put it in the beer garden and call it Kegs and Eggs.
kegs and eggs. We start serving beer at 9 a.m.
Oh my gosh. That actually sounds like there is a place like that.
Yeah.
That's just because you don't want to grab donuts anymore.
Well, when it takes me 9 months to get reimbursed,
Because he starts out and saying, I ought to donate them.
those words never came out of my mouth.
Be nice if we could get it donated. What, 2 dozen donuts?
Donate donuts.
Yeah, we'll ask.
Company card.
We have one of our
Petty cash.
existing food vendors might do the breakfast if we ask.
Yes.
Yeah, breakfast sandwiches.
Yeah.
Go.
I just got his paperwork today. So you can call him.
I'll call him.
You
Does he have a
call him.
griddle?
Hmm?
Does he have a griddle?
Oh, yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Get your breakfast sandwiches. Bacon, eggs, sausage. Boom. I'm telling you, if I weren't working this event, I'd make so much money.
These chickens better get busy.
That's my other one. Chicken sandwiches.
That's what I'm saying.
Is anyone
Chickens would
selling-
have to get busy,
Is any-
wouldn't they?
Anyone selling chicken sandwiches? No, right? I had a grill, pre-season a bunch of chicken thighs and
You
sling.
can't, you're already too busy.
No. Chicken sandwiches.
You wouldn't make any money anyway, because even if you set that up, I'd go to your booth and you wouldn't be there. You'd wandering around talking to
Drinking
people.
beer.
You go, brothers. Diversify.
Yeah, so you wouldn't make any money there.
I'll bring my own beer at that point.
Put it in the family trust.
Trying to remember. Oh. I'm gonna bring this up. You ready?
Yeah.
Gotta add to the parade. I'm still going after kids in costume, unless you can come up with a better thought.
We need people to do the puppets.
True, but
There's no parade if there's no puppets.
8 people for the puppets.
That's the parade.
Okay. Actually,
Go ahead.
put it out there. Ask for volunteers to be a puppet for the parade.
Adults?
Yeah, anyone. Oh, well, it'd have to be, it can't be, young kids, but you'd make it, I don't know, age something to something, Or 16 and above or something.
but we still need to add something to that anyway.
Yes, I know, but once you do that, once we get them and they're signed up, then, they have to come for a rehearsal or a training thing,
Oh, you just gotta set up one time.
right?
That can go into your advertisement.
You don't want to do that?
I just don't know how to word it in a way that is enticing.
Who would like to be a puppet in our parade? I bet you there'd be quite a few that would like to do that.
What if we put something out initially just saying, like, letting people know we're going to be sending out posts over the next several weeks for volunteers, like various volunteers, and just kind of get people thinking about it and coming back to the site to see, okay,
It's a place, it's a thing that you can do on the Facebook page, and we just reshare it all over the place,
right.
you know?
But
So,
let them know, hey, right now, we're gonna start reaching out to see,
you put a post out that says, you know, we need members for the committee, or you need another post that says, you know, that we're gonna be asking for certain things in the next
Yeah.
couple of weeks, right?
but I think,
People to
like,
volunteer for this and volunteer for that.
John's saying, like, you know, it also needs to be kind of a creative experience, like, just don't throw it out, hey, we need this, we need that, like,
You have to put something out that's positive, say, hey, this is what's gonna have our Oktoberfest this year. No, oh, by the way, we're looking for this.
Mary, have you been on Facebook?
What?
There's nothing positive
No.
about Facebook.
I know, didn't we talk about needing a social media
Why?
person?
What do you mean there's
The
nothing?
hate is what gets the likes.
The
Wow.
hate gets
Hate
likes.
gets likes. Controversial. We need something
A
controversial.
lot of times I just skip those, but that's just me. So you don't think our Facebook page doesn't have any positive?
It's not. It's
There's
just
too many
Facebook
positives,
in
that's why
general.
people don't want it.
I mean, in actuality, it is engagement that what drives views, like eyes, onto a post. So it's not going to get seen unless people are commenting and liking and sharing.
There you go. Have to come up with a marketing campaign for all of that.
It's getting better and better.
How many?
Actually, that could actually be one of the positions we're looking for, is a marketing person to
Yeah,
market us.
Yeah.
We talked about that last year.
And,
Love
and,
that.
and, you know, that's kind of a really important job,
Maybe that's our first post.
you know? And they can, you know, they can do, you know, work on posts for our Facebook page and,
Yeah.
you know.
And the newspapers that come free in the
Newspapers.
mail?
We really do need a PR/marketing person.
Yeah.
Steve's writing something down.
I'm gonna see who I might know.
They live in town.
Probably not. But you don't have to work from anywhere. I live in Alaska.
Do they? Yeah. Is there a line between a volunteer and a committee member and PR?
Hmm?
Does the PR person have to be a committee member? Could it be a volunteer?
Could be a volunteer, doesn't have to be an official community member.
They just
but
have
they
to
don't-
go through the
But if it's
committee.
not, they don't, you know, they don't get a vote
It's
on
not-
policy
yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
But,
Their
but,
opinion
you know,
counts.
if they, we'll take any volunteer service. So if we get somebody that wants to help us out and do the PR stuff for us, then that works too, you know? When somebody wants to volunteer, you don't turn them down, so.
Right.
Technically, it should be a member of the committee because, you know, there's a lot of stuff, but, you know, if they don't want to do that part, you know, they want to commit to that, which, you know, I don't understand why, you know. That's kind of we really have to have that. We really have to have somebody that can put us out there, you know, in people's faces all the time, you know? And that would help us in a whole bunch of ways. It would help us be able to sign up sponsors. It would help, because now we have this enormous presence. We need somebody that's only job is to give us this, like, presence and keep us in, you know, in front of everybody's face all the time. So if that happens, then you know, a whole bunch of things open up. Now it's easier to get volunteers, and it's easier to get sponsors, and it's easier to get, you know, vendors to sign up. Because now it's just, wow, I didn't know it was that big, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. I
We need a
wanna
marketing
See that-
person.
that
We need
would-
somebody that can spend, somebody that can keep our website
Yeah.
updated.
Yeah.
Or at least tell you what to put on our website so that it makes the best impact,
Yeah.
you know?
Um,
One of the handicaps that we had, especially with the website, is once you get somebody that does it, and if you have somebody that signs up and then they change their mind, now we have to convert everything back. That's a pain in the neck.
Well, we don't need to do, doesn't, with the service that we use, you can have multiple logins, you can have multiple accounts
Awesome.
to do that. That's one of the benefits of having that over server, private server, whatever it is.
Okay, so I guess it's gonna have to be a priority for us to try to scare up somewhere a person that will do marketing and social media for us.
That I could see us getting more traction with on a Facebook post, right?
Yeah, but that person would also do, like, the ads, the write-up and ads and all that
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
You know,
But I'm saying, like, I could see us posting something like that on Facebook and there being 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 people saying, oh, tagging so-and-so, oh, this, you might be interested in, oh, this is up your alley,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, I can write that post. I can post something and see what we can get. Just make sure that you're all liking, commenting, sharing, all that stuff increases engagement. It's more likely to
oh,
Okay.
see more people.
I guess that's the first step. We get somebody that does that can do all of that social media stuff for us, then it'll make it easier for us to try to worm
Yeah.
other things into it.
Do you want to be the point person? Do you want to be the contact on that?
Yeah,
Talk to whoever,
Yeah.
if there's interest.
yeah.
Send them your way. Okay. As for the puppets, I don't see much. Maybe I'm wrong. I can't imagine someone wanted to strap willfully like that on their back.
Does the parade happen regardless every year of the weather? Like, no.
If the weather is like rainy, windy, rainy, then can't take the puppets out.
Sure.
You know?
What happens if we just change the whole parade this year?
Two,
We don't use the puppets, but we come up with something totally different. It's still a parade. Might be really cool to have something totally different. We were laughing at home because, I'm a fan of the kids in costume. He goes, well, you can't have adults in costume. You never know what you're going to come up with. But I mean, we
Is there a area school that has a more robust theater program? Like we tried with Franklin, we actually got some kids. Our theater program's gone. And Franklin was like just a little bit too far away. It was, an hour for them to get here.
the girls had a blast. Actually, I
Yeah.
think there was a guy or two in there too.
Yeah,
They had a wonderful
they did,
time.
they had a blast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So does Sutton, Uxbridge,
A drama club?
yeah, a more robust theater program? I just mean larger, like more robust, so we can get 8 to 10 kids.
Well, then you could actually put that out and ask, any local schools if they have drama clubs that might be, wanna be involved.
It's not a school, but what's that theater, like when you're heading to Whitensville?
And alternatives?
Alternatives, yeah, what's that, who runs that, who does that? Is that adults, is it kids, is it?
No, yeah.
I used to know someone there, but I think Alternatives is no longer Alternatives, I think it's something else now.
Something
It's a different name.
Sky,
Open
something
Sky.
Sky.
Open
Yeah,
Sky.
So my contact at Alternatives is gone.
It's the GB and Lexi Singh Performance Center. I don't know if they have a associated like group, performance group or not with them. I think that's what you're asking, right? Like, is there a troupe
I just
associated
drive by and
with
see
them?
they're doing, performances every so often, so.
You have Hanover Theater, you have Stadium Theater.
They have,
Who's to,
Oh, didn't we? Wow, no, this is true.
who's to say they don't have
They do.
a
Hanover has a conservatory,
yeah,
and you said someone else
Stadium
does.
Theater has a conservatory too.
Didn't you say you were going to reach out to one or both?
Okay. I can reach out to the Stadium Theater. Because not only do they have, usually they also have, like, when they have a conservatory like that, they usually have auxiliaries too. Like, if you're a member of the conservatory, usually your kids are in some junior version of that.
Yeah, right.
Right?
Yeah.
So, so there might be some interest there.
And if that doesn't pan out, then try the Hanover. And maybe that's a lead. At least those are some leads to try to get theatery people in
Yeah.
an
because-
acting capacity.
Because that's really what you want. You want somebody like that.
Yeah,
As opposed to,
yeah,
And they probably have sound people.
randos. Yeah, sound people.
all right. And then if that doesn't work, I'll just call Disney.
We'll pay you $500. They'll
Disney Parade.
promptly send you a cease and desist.
Phew, they get a little sterner than that. Last year you were trying to get a sponsor from the Envelope Place downtown, heading towards
Yeah,
Northbridge.
they didn't go for it. Not to say I can't try it again. I think last year was just so last minute on my part.
How about
Okay.
how about that idea about the contractor booth? 'Cause we kind of talked about that.
Yeah, I think just the price needs to be something that they're willing to pay. I think when I was reaching out before, it was kind of new and don't really have that money to spend, so
Yeah.
you can definitely reach out and see if there's a certain dollar amount to get some type of sponsorship. Promote themselves in a large venue.
Mhm.
Yeah, I can put more thought into it. Like I said,
Yeah, what
last
was-
year was kind of let's think about it, and then didn't really think through it too much, and then the asking was just too much money. So
What were we asking for money?
I think it was like $500 per to get like just some sponsorships, not to do the pavilion. Because if we do the pavilion, then we need to find a spot for it too.
I don't know, maybe they drop it to $100 each or something,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I'd rather have 5 people at $100 than one person at 500.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And I still have that list that you gave me, Mary, because a lot of those local businesses, like, they're just, like, contractors that just kind of pull a license kind of thing, but they
Okay,
don't really respond. So I've already weeded through that, and I kind of know who I can reach out to again.
Okay.
Did you make any headway on the electricity box, electrical box?
I made some inquiries about putting that electrical box for that second stage. But I haven't got anything definitive yet. I'm still working on that. I want to put an electric panel where we put that second stage. You know, that
Triangle.
little piece of lawn, have another pole there, something similar to what we have here, only smaller. It doesn't have to run all the food vendors, so.
So you don't have to run an extension cord out the church window.
Right.
Yeah.
Is it a paying thing? We just want to see if we can minimize the cost to do it?
It's more so that we don't have to intrude.
Yeah,
on,
inconvenience or intrude.
It's a little invasive to throw extension cords out the window.
Right, I'm saying.
They're very good about doing that, but we gotta find somebody that day to, because, I ask, but it's usually not the same people that gave us permission that the ones that are there, so, so you end up having to run through a couple channels to get it turned on, and they've always accommodated us, so it works, but it would just be easier for us all the way around if we just had our own panel there, like.
Right, but are we paying a contractor to do that?
Yes, we'd be paying a contractor to install it, and then we'd be paying a monthly fee of $7 a month. Until the day we use it, and then, we pay that bill.
Okay.
There's a minimum charge, like the panel that we have right there on the church lawn already. That day, usually we spend about $50, $60 worth of electricity because of everything that's plugged into it. And then, then the rest of the year, we pay $7 a month.
Okay.
Just because there's a meter on it. It's a separate meter that just belongs to us. It would be similar. We'd have another pole at that section. It would have a lockbox on it, just like that one, and then it would have a meter on it, and we'd pay it separately. It would be ours.
I know a couple licensed electricians. Are we looking for someone, or?
We're looking for, right now I'm still working out the idea that yes, we can do it, and then as soon as we do, then we hire an electrician to do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can talk to you right after this.
Yeah.
We got a guy too on the fire department. Doesn't work for me. I think I mentioned it.
Yeah.
That guy's better.
We got guys. Now, where can we find a spot to put a solar panel so we don't have to pay electricity?
A solar panel? We'll put it up over main stage.
We'll just tie into that giant solar farm that's like down the road.
How's that? My blow up thing, I'll put solar panels on
Put
the
a solar
roof.
panel.
Now, Mike, he's serious, isn't he? Why don't you just get a truck or a van that has a solar panel on it, and that is for the day of usage? And it's gonna park in his lawn, because he thought of it.
And he'll make chicken sandwiches in the back of it.
There you go, it's gonna heat
He's
up.
gonna cook chicken on the solar
We
panels.
First of all, we only borrow the real estate down there. We don't
Own it.
get to own it, so we don't get to put a solar panel on it.
I still think you could put one on a truck or a van. They do it on schoolies, I'm just saying.
Yes, they do.
The inside of the schoolie could be making your egg sandwich. Do we want to have our race car driver back? I thought it went well, my understanding. People were happy with it.
I didn't hear much about it, but he enjoyed it. He loved interacting with the kids and the people, but
It was a Kodak moment, though. There was a lot of pictures being taken up at that car. It was a pretty popular spot.
Do we want to do it again? Try again?
Yeah. It's not bad.
I can check with him.
Okay.
We were talking about, I don't know, tickets to a race or something from over there. Did he do that?
Yeah, there was I think it was 2 tickets to the following weekend was like their World Series or something like that.
So that would be cool, too, to just repeat that whole thing. That would be awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. Anybody want to do anything new? Other than, I like the idea of the craft guys though, so we can,
Yeah.
that'll bring a new twist. If we can make that work and we can kind of space them around different parts of the event, and that'll be something new and different.
Would they be on the street with the vendors?
Yeah.
Be a free vendor spot, vendor booth. So, selling their wares, right? You got a belt guy, or a leather guy selling his belts and wallets, and woodworker selling spoons, carving spoons and selling them.
But if you do that, don't you, so, okay, they're making some things in their space, but, if someone's crocheting stuffed animals, like, they're paying a vendor spot, and they could be crocheting and get a free thing, like,
It's not, but their job is to do a class, like, instructional type stuff, right?
but you'd have to open that to everybody, because someone who's crocheting stuffed animals, they're like, okay, well, I can show people how to do this, and then I get a free spot.
Show people how to buy plastic guns from China.
What?
I think we're,
I was talking crochet.
They show
Yeah.
people how to make a hamburger.
I think we were talking about like,
Yeah.
first, at least, inviting people, inviting these vendors. I guess if, on a case-by-case basis, if there was a
Like
traditional hand that.
been to Sturbridge Village, right? So this is going to be the biggest example, okay? Not just that, but like if you go to Sturbridge Village and you go into the area where the guy's making a barrel, right? A wooden barrel, or the tinsmith is making, a little tin lantern, with soldering irons, or a guy's making a broom with straw, and that kind of stuff is what I think we were talking about, right?
Traditional handcraft.
Yeah.
You'd be doing that on the street?
Yes.
With fire and...
Okay.
No.
Well,
No fire.
well, if you,
No
the guys
well.
that do the tinsmithing, okay, yes, they do have a little coal furnace that they have, right? That they, but it's not, it's a soldering iron, so, they don't have blast furnaces. We're not having a blacksmith come,
Oh,
Yeah.
that'd be awesome, though.
Huh?
That would be awesome.
Or the chainsaw art guy.
I'm for it, I'm just the giving a reduced price or a free space because they can give a class on it, like any of those vendors.
It's kind of like
can
the
give a
idea,
class on
it's kind of like the idea that we give Valley Tech a free space
Which I have heard from them, they're coming. Already got their form.
because they do a robotics thing, okay? They do a demonstration, right, a couple times a day.
They're also a
So,
school.
huh?
They're also a school.
Yeah.
I do want to collect whatever demonstration times will require and publish
Yeah.
too. Right, so it'll be like kind of entertainment.
Yeah,
I hear
that's
what you're saying. I hear what you're saying. And I think my vision is traditional handcrafts. So I think that's gonna like weed out crochet demonstration. Although even that's like a bit murky.
It's like kids in the beer garden.
It's like kids in the beer garden.
We come full circle. I don't know, I like the idea, I just think like something like that would need a, like not a street spot, but like if we had a venue that had like a, an overhang and like there was audio there and you're like, a certain time this is going to be happening, and then at another time this is going to be happening, but I don't know of a spot like that where we could showcase it.
Yeah.
come back at 10:30 and we're gonna have this, and then come back at 1 and we're gonna have this. Like,
Well, picture this, okay? Like even the chainsaw guy, right?
Which is not traditional handcraft. by
No,
the way.
it isn't. But
No.
but you see that kind of those kind of people
Yeah.
at these events, country fairs and all that stuff, right? And what happens is they come in usually with a trailer with all kinds of stuff that they've already carved, right? Little squirrels but he wouldn't get a free site because he unless he did live stuff.
Well, the chainsaw thing is a little different.
Yeah.
This is not traditional handcraft, but a chainsaw guy I'll put on the stage and have him carve something on the stage. So at that point, he's entertainment,
mhm.
and we'll wave his booth
Yeah.
as entertainment. Do
Yeah.
the thing, right?
Oh, hold on. Okay.
or an ice sculpture, right? Because there are people that do that,
Right.
and they do ice sculptures fast,
Right.
right? So
They would really have to last year.
But, like woodworking, you might get a guy who's like carving spoons. Maybe he'll like be in his booth. He's got a bunch of spoons for sale. Demonstrate how to carve a spoon. Doing his thing.
just a thought.
And I think like my thinking is that if we can get 8, 10, 12 of these traditional handcraft, I think it would up the vendor game, right? To have like,
Yeah.
we have a good variety, and I would love to see more people doing things like this than advertising gutter sales, for example. So it'd be awesome if we
Like
got
somebody that does leather work and makes wallets and keychains
Yeah.
and that kind of stuff. It's kind of cool.
yeah, I
They
think-
handcrafted gutters.
In that case, if they're doing a demonstration. Yeah, I think it adds something where like for people to stick around and see and go visit, linger, right? Linger at a booth longer because you're watching a guy doing a thing
Mhm.
or a gal doing a thing, right? You're hanging around longer. You're gonna stick around to go see the other thing at 2:30. I think anytime, especially stuff like that, people buy stuff when there's a story. And like you're more likely to buy that wallet or belt or spoon or whatever because like you saw the guy doing it and he told you how it's done and there's a story behind it. Like that stuff adds value to the event.
Maybe.
You saw the cow. That one.
There was a cow here at 9 a.m. I don't know what happened. Get your hamburgers.
Like Texas Roadhouse. I want that steak.
What?
You went from cow to hamburgers.
Okay.
Mary.
Last year we tried to do a jack-o'-lantern contest.
Oh, that failed
That crashed and
miserably.
burned.
Nobody brought.
None.
No.
We're done.
It was a Jack No lantern.
I think
One
it
of
should
these
have
years
been,
we'll learn our
should
lesson.
have started advertising it a lot earlier.
That's not the issue, Mary.
People didn't want to do it.
People don't do any contests. We need to put a sign somewhere in this room that says no contests. And then every year when someone says we should do no contests, we've had zero luck with any contest we've done.
Isn't the wiener race a contest?
It's different.
Huh?
Wiener races are different.
Let's have stroller
gonna-
races.
Are you going to reach out to Ron?
Yeah. The meat, the barbecue cook-off, that was hot for 1 year, and then not even. We only had what, 3, 4.
We had like 4, maybe
Yeah.
5 tops. Yeah. We had 5 because Keith did it.
So that didn't work.
Yeah.
We tried the derby, the Pinewood-
We had
Pinewood Dirt.
we sold 5 cars, yeah.
That didn't work.
That didn't work.
Pumpkins,
Pumpkins,
that
That
didn't work.
didn't
Pie
work.
eating contest, that didn't
that
work.
didn't work.
We used to have an apple pie or a pie contest, and the pies were downstairs in the library. That worked well
No,
for years.
one contest.
No, for years. But we used to do an art contest too. Used to get a lot of artwork in. Well, there's no place to do it. No
In
way
the
to
library for
control
our
it.
soda.
No contests, no more contests.
Nope, I don't wanna,
Okay.
I don't wanna be in charge. So, all right, I just went right back to the parade where we're gonna check with Stadium Theater first, their thoughts of what they could possibly do and put in
See if
it,
they're
because they have
interested, yeah.
tons of costumes. They could choose a theme.
No, we don't need costumes, we need people. We need people. People, people, people. We need people to get into the costumes that we have.
Or both.
And add to it.
Right.
Yes.
Anyone that doesn't have a costume, we've got one for you.
How many puppets do we have?
9.
9. We need 9 people. The
Is that
puppets are the
including-
show.
Is that including the little baby one that's
No.
absolutely adorable?
No, that makes
Okay.
10.
The puppets are the show.
His son is a good size to do the baby puppet.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, maybe. If you can get 7, 8 9 other people.
Well, Daddy would have to do a puppet, otherwise he's not gonna do it.
Daddy's busy.
Yeah. Daddy's making chicken.
In the beer. So to speak. Yeah. Puppets.
Puppets.
The puppets are the show.
Yes,
There's no larger than life parade if we don't have the larger than life.
that's true. Okay, tell us about entertainment.
Nothing to report so far.
You don't have anybody?
No. Not yet.
Britwoods were awesome
I
last
know.
year.
I know.
They,
I know.
And we had people say, oh, make sure you bring that back.
I
I didn't have.
I would.
Yeah.
Just try to, switch it
You
up.
gotta-
Variety.
So, but what we decided is that you were gonna look for some more cover stuff,
Yes.
okay?
Yes. Yeah. What has become increasingly clear to me is that at least for that, like, headline spot, that 2 to 4,
Yeah.
it like a cover band, cover songs, people love it. Yeah. I know.
What about the honey badgers from a couple of years ago? People like that. They're in the middle of the street dancing.
Yeah, they're not a cover group, but
I
people
know.
also like that.
Yeah.
We get that kind of rock. It's edgier, it's rock, and people like that stuff too. Yeah. So, and I want actually I had an idea. Mark Mandeville from Blackstone Valley Music, Mark and Marianne, they did a benefit show, and it was Petty. It was all Tom Petty covers. But that would be cool.
Ooh, I love Tom Petty.
I don't like Tom Petty. But I don't hear the music anyway, so it doesn't matter. If you play Disney songs, I'm like, ooh, what's that? But,
Yeah, so that's an idea.
all right.
Yeah, we'll be good. We'll be good. I'm not worried. Not yet.
Okay, because I want to start working on the program. This is last time.
Yeah, right.
Anything
What,
else?
so you can forget them at home?
Hmm?
So you want to start working on them now so you can forget them at home?
Yeah.
If you put them in my car, I have to take my car down there anyway, so we'll just,
Tony, where are all the programs? We forgot them at home.
No, we had them last year.
2 years ago.
That was 2 years ago.
2 years ago,
did
forgot
that.
them.
Yeah.
but you guys also have to, whether it's becoming nicer, eventually you gotta pull out the ticket booth and
Yes.
figure out what you're doing with the
We're
ticket
gonna
booth.
rebuild the ticket booth this year.
Let's rebuild back better.
You can wait till
Sounds good.
later.
So we'll, gotta pull it out. We can, set it up, rebuild it, replace some wood, paint
Yeah.
it. You know, paint it some nice bright, carnival type color or something.
Yeah.
Um, fix the rolly things for the tickets and. It would
Steve, you
be,
think?
also be good if we had, because they really need a table in there. It'd be good if we had a table that like folded up off of the wall or something, so that it's easy to put in and put away, and we'll make some changes to it.
Okay.
Make a decent roof.
Possible sponsors, you were helping with that last year too.
Yeah, it was just last minute, so yeah, I can get an earlier jump on it for sure. I have all those contacts that I reached out to before.
Yeah, our sponsor list hasn't changed, so if you have what from last year, it's the same thing. So, go after your company, I want $1,000.
Is there an updated letter?
Tony, send him an updated letter.
I will.
It's in my inbox already. Boom.
May 27th, Tuesday,
What's that?
is the seniors night at Douglas High School. I will be gone on vacation. So that's usually, if we present it to a Douglas student, it'll be there.
What day?
Tuesday, May 27th.
Tuesday, May 27th. You have a time?
No.
I don't have any,
It was like
We don't even have the applications.
I don't
yet.
have any of the scholarship applications yet. But April 30th is the deadline.
Did you give it?
Yep. I sent them out to all the schools, and we don't have any. But normally what happens is somewhere around there, I get an envelope thrown in the box here from Douglas anyway, okay, with, 5, 10 applications in it. So, because the guidance department collects them all up and they give them to us all at once.
Do you have a
So-
time on the?
Huh?
Do you have a time on the award show?
No.
No, I do not have one, but I'll get one.
It was like when we did it a couple years ago.
It's
They
early?
do it
Seemed early.
outside in front of the high school.
I thought the sun was like,
The sun was like right in our eyes.
yeah, it was hot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
6, 7 o'clock. Something.
Yeah,
I think
it's
it was like probably
I think
6.
it's like 5 or 6 o'clock, yeah, 6 o'clock.
And I'll have to see, my daughter's graduating, her graduation's the 29th. I don't know if she's got anything before that, but I can find out.
Well, it also depends on who wins the scholarship.
That's true.
They just have to be a Douglas resident. They don't have to go to Douglas. They could be homeschooled. They could go, who knows where.
Are you doing with me?
Yeah, like I said, if I don't have a senior function for her, then yeah, I can check with her. I think there's a calendar for it. We can work on a skit.
Yeah, as soon as we get.
puppets.
As soon as we get, as soon as we get the applications, I'll distribute them out, we review them, and then we figure out who do we want to give the award to.
Yeah.
Then I'll do up the certificate and the check,
Yeah.
like normal, and then give it to you guys to.
Yeah. We need to not sit on the stage
Right.
so we can leave.
Get that.
We'll just pedal up with bikes.
Gotta go.
Can drive up in a little bike? Yeah, why don't you use the barrel train?
My mom
Drive
says I
right-
gotta go home.
There you go, the Battle Train.
Hey, do you think your mom and dad will do the hat table this year?
Oh, for sure. They loved that. Oh my
They were
God.
so cute. They
They
were
did?
so
Oh,
nice.
yeah. Yep. They were all about it. My sister and my neighbor, the help with the ticket thing, they had a lot of fun doing that.
Good.
So,
Awesome. They did a great job.
yeah, it was busy. They
It's
liked being
not-
busy, and
It's
yeah.
nice not having to worry about anything.
Do we have an
There was other
age?
stuff to worry about,
Huh?
but
Yeah.
yeah. Some of the
Someone
main
have to
ones,
be
yeah.
on-
I try to stay
To be in the
in my
what?
admin booth in the morning, and I can't.
I don't know.
Every time I get in there, I'm like, okay, then someone's pulling me here, someone's pulling me there, and I'm like, I feel bad for my volunteers.
we
It's
don't-
like, you got this? They're like, yeah, okay.
I mean.
And if I'm running,
You have to be 18 years
most of
old
the
to
morning.
do, you know,
he's touching me, I
drive a
can't find
car
my
or a truck or
booth.
something.
He's
but
got
I-
the same thing as I
We don't
have.
do any of that, so we don't do
It is
anything
what it
that would
is.
require.
Happens every
I would
year.
say, you know,
If they really frustrate me, I
16
tell them to go
above,
get a cup
you
of
know?
coffee.
I take
If
anybody.
that doesn't work, I go get one of you guys, because I have to walk
Because
away
it's
by
really
There's a
then.
not-
coffee coupon.
Yeah.
No
We'll
reason.
figure it out.
There's no reason why it would have to have,
Yeah. It's nothing official town related or
Nope.
voting related or anything, so.
no, there's nothing, they wouldn't, you know, they wouldn't have to sign a contract or anything. That's all, that's done at the administrative level, you know.
Yeah. I don't have the time for it right now. Maybe this summer I'll be able to get to it. But I want to kind of revamp the Facebook page, like our logo avatar thing doesn't make any sense. And
I guess the next, all right, so anyway, there's that. So sometime before then, we're gonna have another meeting sometime in May. Because on the 27th is the awards night. So Mondays seem to be a pretty good day for meetings. That's,
yeah, I guess.
Is that a mumble of some
Well,
sort?
the 26th is Memorial Day.
well, we're not doing that one. So let's do, how about the 19th?
Seven.
Most of that meeting, well, it'll be a normal meeting, but the first part of that meeting will be the scholarships.
So,
We may have a lot of updates by then.
Yeah, we will, because I would have found out about a bunch of things. I'm gonna want to get the electric pole in as soon as I can. If we do that, I'm gonna want to get the stadium theater in, if they're gonna do that, or Hanover, or, you know, the parade ironed out.
Yeah.
19th work?
Yep.
yeah.
Okay. All right, so we're gonna make next meeting the 19th.
Do you want to do it, or would you like Steve to go after GBI? We haven't had them for a sponsor in a long, long time.
I'll try it, but last year they were like, "Oh, this sounds like a last minute thing." I was like, "It is."
Not a last minute thing now.
Yeah, but it's,
Right.
yeah. All right, I'm gonna put you down for that. I'd like to go after Koopmans too, because they sponsor a lot of other stuff, but a lot of contractors in town use Koopmans for supplies.
I'll go after DJ Santa.
Whoop!
Oh, McIntyre.
Huh?
McIntyre?
McIntyre, that's another girl.
Well, they're in town.
McIntyre does, they don't do landscaping, do they? They just do
Uh,
gravel and stuff.
la-
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
They do mulch and stuff too.
Huh?
products.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not services, just products.
Yeah, not
Yeah.
making it real pretty, but they'll bring you
Yeah,
your
they'll
stuff.
bring you your stuff. I know, because I bought some stuff from McIntyre. They were good people.
There's a few businesses, right?
Huh?
There's a few businesses there right on 16 that
Yeah.
there's,
Past the high school.
yeah, there's McIntyre, there's like a van, I think it's called Van Works. They do like camping van conversion.
Good.
I saw their little campers out there
Yeah,
yesterday.
and they moved from Uxbridge. They were in Uxbridge near the Hab, and they moved. I think they're on the Douglas line. I think they're on this side.
Yep.
Try them. van works. VANWERX, I think.
Actually, what you should do, because that actually looks like a good thing display, have them bring a converted van,
Oh, I'd love to see
like a
that.
camper for a display.
Yeah.
want to see the inside.
Huh?
I want to see the inside of a camper van.
Don't make it weird.
Ah, well, where'd your mind go? We haven't been camping in a long time.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't like tinting it anymore.
VANWORX.
Yeah, so you have them bring one of the conversions that people can crawl through.
Okay,
That'd be cool.
yep.
How about in the car show?
Put 'em- well, we'll find a space for them, but
The antiques is the antiques.
yeah, but this should, you know, I don't know, I might want to put them up. We get the race car up there, you put them on the other side of the lawn,
There you go.
right?
Not much lawn left because they have their parking spaces, but there's some. Yeah, that would work.
Yeah. People go in, they can hand out business cards and, you know, whatever it
Yep.
is they do, and, you know. Wow, that'd be cool, right? We'll see if we can get them to sponsor something. Cool.
Groovy.
Sometimes cool things come out of the last 2 minutes.
It happens.
Next meeting's at 8:30. Next meeting's at 8:30. 10-minute meeting. Done. I throw up my pajamas.
We start, we finish.
All right, are we done?
Yes,
So,
please. It's late for me.
Move to adjourn?
So moved.
Ah,
So moved.
all right.
Second.
Second. And,
Third. Aye.
here, here.
All